Hello and welcome to Onesies, a podcast of one season wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew,
My name is Emily.
and we are discussing episode 10 of 1975's When Things Were Rotten, an ABC sitcom created in part by Mel Brooks. This episode is entitled Birthday Blues. And
Andrew hated this episode.
Andrew, with the exception of the low to high key racism, Andrew really liked this episode.
There was Reynaldo was on peak. I think that's the most.
I was referring to when
The band?
they shit on the band for asking to be paid for their labor.
There's that, but Reynaldo was also I think the most Hispanic that he's ever been.
Yes. So hopefully Richard Dimitri is half Russian, half Hispanic. He's still alive. We can try to track him down and talk to him about this.
Okay.
The last thing he did was in 1999. He was in Tracy Takes On. So if only we knew someone with access to various types of personal records in the Hollywood area who could look up and see if they could find this information.
If only.
If only. I guess I could check the Celebrity Black Book. Anyway, so this episode also features a couple Mel Brooks deep cuts, including Robert Ridgely playing the same character as he plays in Blazing Saddles, sort of. With some of the same lines. So it's clearly meant to be.
Is it Blazing Saddles or is it Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Both.
Okay.
It is both.
Yes. But the lines, clearly they've recycled the jokes, some of the jokes.
And they recycle some of the jokes from the Walk This Way joke from Young Frankenstein.
Yep. Yeah, they do.
So, this is sort of like, do I like Mel Brooks? Well, let me watch a TV show and decide if I want to go see some Mel Brooks movies, I guess. Also, we got a lot of good Bernie Kopel this episode.
A lot of good Bernie Kopel, including several face shots.
Several face shots, and they knew, and apparently director Peter R. H. Hunt told Bernie that he would be keeping the shot in the wider shots too, so it actually works.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But the episode begins with Robin and the Merry Men, including
several
extras.
Yeah, there are a lot.
It is the most fake shemps we've ever seen. And they are getting ready for Reynaldo's surprise party. He's either 26 or 27, which seems like Bertram would know how old he is, so Reynaldo could have just extrapolated. But Reynaldo is walking back to camp after having gone shopping for the Merry Men. He went supply shopping for the Merry Men, and he happens across Robert Ridgely, who is an executioner on his way to the castle.
Yes.
They have a little bit of interchange, enough Robert Ridgely that I was like, wait, where's this from? Is this from Young Frankenstein? Is this from Blazing Saddles? You look it up online, it looks like it's from Men in Tights, but then because he's uncredited as the hangman in Blazing Saddles. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But and the character name is different. They make a big deal about this guy's name. Hollingsworth, and he's the best executioner in England. We'll find out. But Reynaldo gets back to camp where they have hidden the area where they're going to have the party, and he does not seem to notice that a bunch of the forest is missing.
Including the table that they sit at to eat.
Yeah.
That we see almost every episode. Yeah.
He's not very observant. He gives the Merry Men I'm sorry, he gives the actors who get lines and are in the opening titles supplies that he has purchased for them. Um, and then he expects some sort of birthday hello or greeting. They don't. They
They don't.
delay.
They delay it, and he gets really worried. And it gets dragged out. Like the pacing of this is so weird to me. Like it gets dragged out for a really long time, like longer than
Yep.
it should for a 26-minute episode. It's my only complaint about this episode, really. And there's some filming issues later, but they drag this out a really long time where he's just like kicking the dirt, like, oh, nobody even remembered my birthday. Meh, meh, meh. And then he's about to run away, and Robin is like, all right, men, get back to work, blah, 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 doing your unnecessary jobs, like whatever it is they do. And then he's like, Reynaldo, get over here, pull this rope, to try to get him to pull the rope and reveal the birthday party. And he again is like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not doing that, because he's pissed. But man, that scene went on for a long time. I felt bad for Ronaldo, but they really dragged that shit out.
Robin yells at him
Robin yells at him. Yeah.
quite not good management style there from Robin. But Ronaldo eventually pulls it. He
Revealing his
sees the
birthday
party
party. Yeah.
and he is just thrilled.
Yes.
So we then cut to the castle where Bertram is having a birthday party. We will go, there's singing, there's a lot of singing.
And they're singing
Including,
a happy birthday song to the tune of For He's a Jolly Good Fellow,
yeah,
which is weird.
it's weird. The birthday songs are very weird in this. Apparently somebody told them that Happy Birthday to You is copywritten or something. Maybe it was in 1975. Who knows? But we cut to the castle where the fake Shemps in the court are singing to Ronaldo or to Bertram,
The
who
same
is
song.
same
Yeah.
song. He's thrilled about it. The sheriff is like, "Oh, dude, you're so obnoxious. Nobody gives a shit about your birthday." Um, Ron Rifkin and Princess Elizabeth didn't even, or Princess Isabel didn't even want to wake up for this. And Bertram's like, I don't care. This is just great. You actually care about me. You did all this stuff. And he's like, I barely did anything. He's like, you did something, didn't you? And the
Yeah.
sheriff's like, well, fuck you, whatever, dude. Like the whole thing with the sheriff this episode being
Apathetic.
he's like hostily apathetic, except he objectively did go out of his way to give Bertram a birthday party.
Yeah.
It makes no, well, we'll get to the present in a bit. That's sort of
And
Bertram's in love with the sheriff. The sheriff's in love with Maid
clearly.
Marian. Yeah.
Yeah. And I on that note, while Reynaldo is playing, excuse me, Richard Dimitri's playing Reynaldo is more ethnic in this episode than we've seen in a while. Bertram is also played as being very effete
Yes.
in this episode, like more so than we've seen in all since the beginning.
This feels like with the Robert Ridgely cameo, or not even cameo, I mean, it's a extended guest spot,
Yeah.
and them finally doing an episode where Richard Dimitri plays up the twin thing, and they were willing to pay for two composite shots and multiple fake shemps for him.
Yeah.
This feels like this is what I was expecting of the show at episode 3 or 4, not episode 10, with so many diversions along the way. But so Bertram has his party. Does he start dancing with Maid Marian? He might, because the racist part with the band is pretty quick. Like,
But that's not Bertram.
Is that Ronaldo?
No, it's not Reynaldo either. It's just some other.
It's the guy
person.
without a. It's
It's a guy without a line, and because the sheriff asks Maid Marian, like, would you like to dance? And she says yes, and turns around and grabs the first guy she sees.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any lines, but that's when the band shows up. They get closer to the band, and the guy asks, "Hey,
demand.
when can we
When do I
get
get paid?
when do we get paid?" And the guy shrugs, and Maid Marian shrugs, and then they dance away. Um, the band is it
It's
four
all
or
black.
five African
Yep, four or
American
five black
gentlemen?
guys. Yep.
And the music is obviously not of 1197 or whatever. It's definitely some lighter jazz. um, yeah, that was pretty bad. That was rough.
Yeah, that was a little
I
rough.
kind of I I was my husband was sitting next to me and I was watching it on my iPad and I kind of went and looked over at him like I hope he didn't see that, but he wasn't paying attention. So that's good.
He was too busy watching A Birth of a Nation. Um,
Oh, he was a second assistant director on that. So
when he was 32. So someday gonna be so mad when he listens to this.
he'll
Someday
never listen. He'll never listen.
he'll peruse the transcripts.
Until I die, and then he might just go back to listen to it just to hear the sound of my beautiful voice.
Just get raged at all of the ageism where you make fun of the fact you married an elderly gentleman. Anyway, moving on. So we cut back to the camp where, so we've already established in the opening scene with Robert Ridgely and Ronaldo that Ronaldo's planning on going to the castle because he's still filled with love on his birthday. He even has a little to spare for his shitty twin brother Bertram.
Yeah.
And so Ronaldo's hanging out at camp. Nothing's really going. Everybody's left him alone. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to do my visit to the castle now. And he takes a horse and runs off
Yep.
or rides off. The merry men then come out with, oh, we missed the presents. Do we even care? They don't really matter. Yeah. The sheriff's present's the only one that matters. Though Robin gives him a present of a framed bow that's autographed.
Yeah.
And the joke is because Ronaldo's an ethnic type, he's just going to sell it once it appreciates in value. So,
Waka waka.
waka waka. Okay, so they come out with the cake. And had we already established that there's a cake? Yes. So in Bertram also gets a cake. And the sheriff's like, ugh, here's your stupid cake. I stole it from some peasant wedding. And Bertram's like, you do care. And he's like, whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
but you do, because you
But you
stole it from
do.
a peasant wedding.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a very odd choice.
yeah. Um, well, especially we'll get to it with what the sheriff ends up doing for the second half of the episode. But the merry men are like, well, I bet Ronaldo's playing a joke on us because it's his birthday and he's such a jokester. So we'll just wait for him to come back. Cut to the castle.
Cut to the castle.
Ronaldo just basically walks into the castle and says, I'm here in peace and I'm going to have a good time. Here's my brother. Love my brother. Bertram's like, you fucking suck. Sheriff's like, we're gonna get him tonight. And Bertram's
Yeah.
like, that sounds awesome. And so this is when Ronaldo goes up to the band and has them play. And then we're gonna get scenes of him going and talking to people before going and dancing. At one point, he will dance with the sheriff. That's right before he gets arrested.
That was super cute.
Yeah.
That scene I really liked.
Mhm.
Where
See?
it's that dumb setup where does the sheriff tap Bertram on the shoulder, or not Bertram, Reynaldo on the
Ronaldo's
shoulder.
dancing with Maid Marian and talking about her being Robin's girlfriend. So
Yeah.
everybody there's deaf.
Yeah.
But they also,
So-
if they hear it, they can't say anything because nobody was willing to give them a SAG card for that.
So the sheriff taps Reynaldo on the shoulder to cut in, and instead of Maid Marian dancing with him, Reynaldo dances with the sheriff. And it's so cute. Like,
It's pretty cute.
the comfort that the two actors have with one another,
Yeah.
and the fact that Reynaldo's got his head on the
Yep.
sheriff's shoulder. It was really cute. And they're talking about, oh, you're such a good dancer. Oh, you're a good dancer too. Like, I love that.
Yeah. So,
That was sweet.
yes. But then the sheriff's like, actually, you're under arrest.
Yeah.
And then they do like this award show bit where they're like, let's tell him what he's won. And he's
Yeah.
won the death
Death.
penalty.
Yeah.
And
Waka
Robert
waka.
Ridgely is in town. He's the greatest executioner in England. So he's going to execute um, Ronaldo. I think we probably cut back to the camp. Is this when they're bored of
They're
waiting?
bored of
And
waiting, and Alan says something like, if he's playing a joke, he's losing his audience.
yeah, and this is when
Um,
Friar Tuck takes a handful of cake to see if he's hiding in the cake or something.
yep, they're gonna search the camp. Um, Robin assigns people tasks, and uh Friar Tuck assigns himself the cake and takes, like a child, a fistful of cake. Does he put it in his mouth?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it does.
So he's covered in cake like a
Yeah.
fucking baby.
So after they finish searching the camp, Maid Marian arrives on horseback wearing her riding outfit that we have established is the only one she'll have.
We
She
never see
said,
her leave the castle, right?
never. We've never seen her leave the
Okay.
castle. We never even see her go to the stables in the castle. She has no
Appears.
responsibilities in the castle other than to fend off the sheriff's advances. But she gets there and she's like, I've been riding for an hour. Now, the castle and Sherwood Forest have never really seemed that far away,
No.
but that's going to be important because we're now on a timeline or we're now have a
Right.
deadline. Ronaldo's going to get executed at midnight, which is less than an hour. So the boys have to go get him.
Right.
Merriman, we probably get some joke about little John saying he's so mad he's going to kill him after he saves him or something like that.
Yes, you definitely get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we then cut to the jail cell in the castle. I think, is there a scene with the sheriff and the executioner in the cells? I feel like there is because it
I
makes no sense how long it's going to then take them to get back there.
I feel like there is two, but
But
I don't remember for sure.
yeah, but um, Bertram is left alone with Richard Dimitri. Now, Richard Dimitri gave Bertram a present, and we don't, or Ronaldo gives Bertram a present, which Bertram does not open. And he does not open it at any point in the episode either.
Not at all.
Not at all. So they completely forget that, even though they bring it up again. So they're just talking in the cell. It's Richard Dimitri doing composite shots, talking to the back, somebody who has the similar back of the head to him. We get some backstory on the brothers that they grew up rich, or they would have if Bertram or if Ronaldo hadn't been kidnapped by
Yeah.
some.
Some brigands.
No, he was kidnapped by. I'm trying to think of the polite way of saying.
Oh.
Well, I mean, nobody knew in 1975 you shouldn't be racist to Romani people.
Oh, I
Except
did not
Romani people.
catch
I mean,
I
Romani people thought
I
that
didn't
you
catch
shouldn't be
that.
racist to them, but um, that was something that people were fighting for as late as I don't know 2015 that you could be racist toward Romani people. But yes, they kidnapped Ronaldo, and he was raised with a band of Romani people. Uh, Somehow they resist making them all Puerto Rican as well. And we get this lengthy bit about how he's going to get, he asks for a last meal. Bertram's like, you know what? You do deserve a last meal. And there's this long bit about how Ronaldo's going to get a bowl of soup and he's going to eat it with a fork
Eat it with
and
a
he
fork
can't
so then they
be
can't.
executed. Yeah,
Yeah. That was cute.
it was cute. We cut to Robin and the Merry Men and Maid Marian riding to his rescue in a daytime shot.
In the daytime shot. That was my other I it took me a couple of like shots and I was like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be like 11:30 at night.
Oh,
Where
that
the
you don't
fuck
think that
are
was
they?
entire? I think that was entirely intentional. I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, I think that
Oh,
was. I think that was entirely intentional. They appear to
That was
be
weird.
riding in the Mash Canyon as well.
Fair enough.
But we also get the sheriff and Robert Ridgely talking about sharpening blades and things like that. And then they're like, well, it's time to go kill Ronaldo. And it's going to take them approximately an hour and 75 minutes to walk through the castle where they had previously been 4 minutes before.
Because they're being ableist this time and making fun, I'm using finger quotes there, of the executioner's limp, which
Yes.
is which is it kind of goes in and out throughout the episode, but in this scene in particular, the limp turns into him literally dragging one leg behind him.
Yep.
Um, and then I'm going to hell for this, but I did laugh when at the end, when they get it back into the thing, they're both dragging their legs
Yes. It's
and it
the
looks like a
young
little
Frankenstein.
synchronized dance.
Yeah.
I'm going to hell for thinking that's funny, but
But yeah, it's the young Frankenstein joke.
yeah.
So Mel Brooks, everybody, he's got a brand. So, at the 0 hour, T minus zero, Bertram's like, you know what, man, I can't let them kill you on your birthday, on our birthday. Um, Hit me over the head or something and
Make it
run
look
away.
real.
Make it look real and run away. Ronaldo's like, okay, smacks him, runs off. We then cut to the gates where Robin is arriving. They see flickering lights, a la an electric chair, which means that the execution has taken place.
Yeah.
Waka waka. I'm just like, who's this joke for? Like, this is a show for 9 to 11-year-olds. Like, this is not a show where they're going to be like, oh, it's an electric chair reference. But Ronaldo is there. He's sort of staying out of sight, but he's like piping into the conversation. Nobody notices it's him because, in theory, the fake Shemps would also talk and they wouldn't listen to them. Alan is not in this scene.
Alan's not in the scene, and I didn't rewatch it. I should have, but I feel like he also wasn't in the scenes where they were riding in the
He was,
daytime.
though. He was.
Oh, he was. Okay.
That's why it was even weirder.
But then I was like, wait a minute, where is Alan? Where's Alan? Where's Alan? He's not in it until the very end of not the episode, but of this part of the episode.
Yes.
That was very weird because they all run in to hug him
Yeah.
once they realize that he's alive.
Bernie Copel was trying out for the Love Boat pilot at this point, and he was
But then there's an insert, or not an insert, there's a scene at the end where they're all hugging in the background and they cut to him and he's by the horses and he's got tears streaming down his face. And he does his little narration thing like, and I tell you, it takes a lot to make this man cry. But after what we've seen, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
Wasn't even that emotional, but whatever. I'll take it. I like Bernie
Yeah,
Copel.
it was good. So the executioner had been talking about how he really wanted to execute twins. And until this point, the sheriff had been like, yep, that's a nice bummer. But when they've got Bertram with like an ice pack on his head, perfect time for to open the present that he doesn't. The sheriff is talking to Robert Ridgely, and he's like, "Guess what? The next time I capture Ronaldo, you can
You got
execute
twins.
twins."
Yeah.
Zoinks! Bertram's in trouble, but we won't be dealing with that now. Instead, we're gonna have a nice camaraderie ending for the Marionette,
And they do. And they sing a
and they do.
song, and it turns into a bit of a Marx Brothers moment where they're harmonizing at the end of the song.
Um, one big thing about this episode is that outside of the opening and the barking orders bits, and then when Robin thinks Ronaldo's dead, he's going to storm the castle and kill everybody. And I'm like, well, why don't you just fucking do that anyway, dude? Like,
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just solve the
All
show?
the problems.
All the
Yeah.
problems would be fine. But and then Ronaldo comes out and Little John hugs him, even though Ronaldo's scared that he's in trouble. But Dick Gautier does not have very much to do this episode. He's never doing it for laughs. And so
No.
this is very much like how they were playing him earlier in the series, where he was sort of a background straight man
Yeah.
to these wacky guys, plus Dick Van Patten. So, so yeah, I mean, there's the shitting on the band, Ronaldo amping up the ethnic, but otherwise, this was far and away my favorite episode since the Sid Caesar. So that was a long
Wow.
time ago too.
Yeah, that was the episode 2.
That was
And
episode
this
two,
is
and what did I say? I said the show needs a guest star, and it's got one here in Robert Ridgely. There's also the thing that Richard Dimitri's quite good, even with the sort of 70s caricature trappings he's operating in, but he's
yeah.
still very good. Like his
Yeah.
timing is excellent. So there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. The end.
The end.
The end of that episode. I enjoyed it as well, not as much as the previous 2 episodes. Why do I have Robert Ridgely up? Well, I know I have.
Because he's sexy.
He's not sexy. He's not. So, ooh, episodes 11 and 12 is a two-parter.
Oh, good.
So the next episode is The Spy Part 1. Good news for you is that Peter H. Hunt is directing both parts of this. Is there a special guest star? Ron Rifkin is back, but other than that, doesn't seem Carl Ballantine, Joseph Marr, they don't seem to be guest stars. King Richard must return home to England soon or lose the throne to Prince John. Meanwhile, Robin Hood's men suspect there's a double agent in their ranks, but which side is he really working for?
Interesting.
So,
So this is actually a two-parter that aired on the same night, which
oh,
sadly I think means we have to watch both of them.
okay, we can do that. The episode 2 synopsis: the merry men put on trial the one they think is the traitor. Robin Hood, meanwhile, has to stop the sheriff from killing King Richard when he returns to England, as the law requires, or lose his throne. And that, Lainey Kazan is a guest star.
Yep.
So, but no King Richard. Okay.
No.
Fine.
Lainey Kazan has a name though, so that's
Yeah.
there you go.
Hopefully she's more than just like a busty broad. Hopefully.
Ooh. Okay, it's gonna be weird. Okay,
so next time, I guess we will be watching episodes 11 and 12, The Spy, parts 1 and 2. Andrew, I'll see you in Television Land.
see you in Television Land, Emily.
Once upon a time when things were rotten, not just food but also kings were rotten. Everybody kicked the peasants. Things were bad and that ain't good. Then came Robin Hood, ba-ba. Soon a band of merry men he'd gotten. They wore outfits made of plain green cotton. Helping victims was their business. Boy, oh boy, was business good. Good for Robin Hood. They laughed, they loved, they fought, they drank. They jumped a lot of fences. They robbed the rich, gave to the poor. Except when they kept more expenses. So when other legends are forgotten, we'll remember back when things were rotten. Yay for Robin Hood. They laughed, they loved, they fought, they drank. They jumped a lot of fences. They robbed the rich, gave to the poor. Except when they kept more expenses. So when other legends are